If someone wants to understand why people are moving to Jacksonville in 2026, the answer is not found solely in glossy beach photos, trending restaurants, or median home price charts. The real story begins with payroll reports, corporate headquarters, and global trade routes. Relocation decisions are rarely driven by lifestyle alone. Opportunity comes first. Security comes first. Career trajectory comes first. Lifestyle becomes the reinforcement, not the catalyst. And when examining Jacksonville through the lens of its three most powerful economic pillars, Jacksport, Mayo Clinic in Florida, and CSX, a clear narrative emerges. Jacksonville is not simply growing, it is actively recruiting. Its expansion is not accidental or speculative. It is infrastructure-driven, institutional, and anchored in sectors that do not evaporate when economic cycles shift. Ports, healthcare, and rail are not trend industries. They are backbone industries. They are durable. They are operationally essential. And together, they are fueling one of the most compelling employment growth stories in the Southeast. The story starts at the water. Jacksport is far more than a regional dock system moving containers in and out of Northeast Florida. It is a global logistics engine generating billions in economic impact and supporting tens of thousands of jobs across the region and beyond. The workforce attached to port operations is layered and expansive. It includes longshoremen managing cargo, logistics coordinators synchronizing shipments, customs brokers navigating compliance, trucking companies transporting goods inland, warehouse operators managing distribution centers, and supply chain managers optimizing flow across continents. Beyond these direct roles, there are indirect positions in finance, commercial real estate, construction, regulatory compliance, and technology infrastructure. The port's value lies not only in geography, but in strategy. Positioned on the Atlantic with direct connections to major interstate highways and fully integrated rail systems, Jacksonville operates as a transfer point between global manufacturers and domestic markets. As global supply chains have diversified and companies have sought redundancy and efficiency, ports offering depth, modernization, and expansion capacity have become critical strategic assets. Jacksonville has invested in channel deepening, terminal modernization, and expanded cargo capabilities. These are not cosmetic upgrades, they are long-term commitments that translate directly into employment growth. When companies decide to route goods through Jacksonville, they frequently establish distribution hubs nearby to maximize efficiency. Those hubs require management teams, engineers, operations specialists, human resource professionals, IT support, and administrative leadership. Those professionals require housing. They enroll children in local schools. They invest in neighborhoods. Port expansion converts directly into relocation demand. Shifting from global cargo to global medicine, Mayo Clinic's Florida campus stands as one of the most influential employment drivers in the region. As a world-renowned medical institution, Mayo attracts physicians, researchers, nurses, specialists, executives, and clinical leaders from across the country and around the globe. This is not a quiet regional hospital network operating behind the scenes. It is an international medical brand synonymous with innovation and excellence. Healthcare-driven relocation tends to be stable and long-term. Medical demand grows with population expansion and technological advancement. As Mayo invests in new facilities, expands research initiatives, and deepens specialty programs, it brings highly skilled, high-income professionals directly into Jacksonville's housing market. The ripple effect extends well beyond clinical roles. Large healthcare campuses require cybersecurity experts, data analysts, marketing strategists, facilities managers, and advanced technology teams. They collaborate with biotech firms, research institutions, and innovation partners. That collaboration builds an ecosystem that attracts talent in diverse professional fields. Families relocating from Mayo positions are often making career-defining decisions. These are not short-term transfers, they are commitments that plant roots. That level of professional stability supports sustained neighborhood growth, particularly in areas such as the beaches, Intracoastal West, and the broader Southside corridor. Then there is rail, a sector less flashy but no less foundational. CSX is headquartered in Jacksonville, and that fact carries strategic weight. Corporate headquarters anchor cities. They bring executive leadership, finance departments, legal teams, operations analysts, and institutional infrastructure. Rail remains critical to the American economy. CSX connects ports to inland markets, manufacturers to distribution centers, and agricultural producers to consumers nationwide. When a major rail corporation chooses a city as its headquarters, professional ecosystems cluster around it. Law firms expand, accounting firms scale, consultants and vendors build long-term relationships. Corporate relocations tied to CSX bring mid-level and senior-level professionals into Jacksonville's housing market. Many seek established neighborhoods with strong commutes and access to lifestyle amenities. The integration of port, rail, and highway systems makes Jacksonville uniquely positioned. Few cities combine global maritime access, national rail connectivity, and interstate distribution networks at this scale. Jacksport moves goods internationally. CSX moves them domestically. Highways distribute them regionally. This integration establishes Jacksonville as one of the Southeast's most important logistics hubs. In 2026, this infrastructure foundation matters more than ever. While remote work has transformed many industries, infrastructure-dependent sectors remain physically anchored. Ports require cranes and ships. Rail requires tracks and yards. Hospitals require physical campuses equipped with specialized technology. These sectors cannot function virtually. That anchors Jacksonville's job base in tangible, enduring assets. When professionals evaluate relocation options, diversified employment drivers reduce risk. Jacksonville offers logistics, healthcare, rail, military presence, financial services, insurance, fintech, and advanced manufacturing. That diversity creates resilience. If one sector slows, another often accelerates. Cost of living amplifies this advantage. Compared to metropolitan areas with similar economic diversity, such as Atlanta, Charlotte, or Miami, Jacksonville typically offers more attainable housing prices and less congestion. That combination enhances employer recruitment efforts. Competitive salaries paired with relatively accessible housing make relocation more attractive. Lifestyle still matters, but it reinforces rather than initiates the decision. Once a job offer is accepted, proximity to beaches, rivers, golf courses, and year-round outdoor recreation becomes a powerful bonus. Without employment stability, lifestyle amenities rarely sustain population growth on their own. Scalability strengthens Jacksonville's competitive position. The city's expansive land availability supports warehouse growth, medical campus expansion, rail yard modernization, and corporate office development without the spatial limitations experienced by denser metropolitan areas. Companies evaluating long-term operational footprints prioritize confidence that they can scale for decades. Jacksonville provides that flexibility. Workforce development partnerships further solidify institutional strength. Ports require logistics and operations expertise. Healthcare demands specialized training pipelines. Rail infrastructure relies on engineering and safety professionals. Local colleges and technical programs increasingly align with employer needs, reinforcing talent retention and reducing outmigration. Relocation patterns reflect these economic drivers. Port-related professionals often gravitate toward North Jacksonville, the West Side, and suburban corridors with efficient interstate access. Healthcare professionals associated with Mayo frequently choose the beaches and Southside communities. Corporate executives tied to CSX often favor established neighborhoods offering convenient commutes and lifestyle balance. This distribution fosters balanced growth across the metro area rather than concentrating demand in a single district. Global visibility plays a role as well. A city that hosts a major international port, a world-class medical institution, and a nationally recognized rail headquarters earns credibility on business maps worldwide. That credibility influences corporate site selection and investor confidence. Jacksonville competes not merely as a coastal lifestyle destination, but as an infrastructure powerhouse. In times of national economic fluctuation, cities anchored by essential industries demonstrate resilience. Logistics does not disappear. Healthcare demand does not evaporate. Rail transport does not become obsolete. These sectors evolve, but they endure. That endurance gives families confidence to relocate. They are not chasing speculative growth. They are stepping into industries with decades of stability and forward trajectory. As Jacksport continues expanding cargo capacity, as Mayo Clinic advances medical research and specialty programs, and as CSX modernizes rail operations, they collectively signal long-term institutional commitment to Jacksonville. Commitment attracts additional commitment. Companies follow infrastructure. Talent follows opportunity. Housing demand follows payroll. People are moving to Jacksonville because global trade routes flow through its port, because cutting-edge medicine operates within its city limits, because one of the nation's largest rail corporations anchors its headquarters here, because infrastructure in this city is operational rather than theoretical, because diversified employment reduces professional risk, Because career growth aligns with attainable living. Sunshine enhances the appeal, but stability drives the decision. Jacksonville's growth story in 2026 is not accidental or reactionary. It is engineered through institutions that are built to last. I'm Luke Christmas, and it's always Christmas when you work with Christmas Homes.